Alright guys, for yesterday's assignment, we asked you to watch A Bad Case of the Stripes by David Shannon. So if you have not listened to that story yet, go ahead and close out of this video. Go listen to that story. And then we also asked you to write a summary of the story. So if you haven't done that yet, you can pause this video and go write your summary and come back and check your answer. Or you can just go ahead and follow along with me as I write the summary of A Bad Case of Stripes. So the first thing I want you to think about when you're writing a story is to not forget that you need to include the characters, or the main character, the setting, the problem, and the events. So anytime you're writing a summary, you want to make sure that you have those included. So when you finish your summary, you can actually go back and check and say, okay, did I have each one of these things? If you don't, you need to make a change, okay? I like to use transition words when I'm writing a summary. So here's some of the transition words I use. In the beginning, next, then, after that, and in the end. Now, these are just some. If you need to use more, feel free to use more in your summary, or if you want to use different ones, go ahead. But the important thing is that you have transition words so that your summary goes in chronological order and that it makes sense. All right, so I'm going to start with in the beginning. In the beginning of the story, there was a girl named Camilla Cream who loved lima beans. But she never ate them because she was always worried about what other people thought of her. Okay, so the first thing I said was don't forget to include your character. Okay, I told my character, a girl named Camilla Cream who loved lima beans, but she never ate them because she was always worried about what other people thought of her. This gives us a good introduction to our character. So I'm going to go ahead and put a check mark on that to make sure I know and I'm keeping track of what I have and what I don't have. I'm going to set up the setting now. On the first day of school, that's when. While Camila was getting ready she looked in the mirror and realized she was covered in colorful stripes. Now, the important thing about a summary is that you include the most important details, but you do not include every single little detail. There's already details that I've left out because I didn't feel like they were important enough for me to put in my summary. One thing that it said was that she tried on 42 different outfits. Is that really important to my summary? No. I only need the most important parts. So I went ahead and set up the setting because I said when it was and where. It was at her house. She was getting ready, and it was on the first day of school. She looked in the mirror and realized she was covered in colorful stripes. That afternoon, come to think of it, I gave the problem too because she's covered in colorful stripes. So I went ahead and gave the problem as well. That afternoon, a doctor came. Oops, my pencil broke. A doctor came to check on her and said she was fine to go to school. The next day, she went to school. But the other kids made fun of her. Okay? So that afternoon, a doctor came to check on her and said she was fine to go to school. The next day, she went to school, but the other kids made fun of her. She started to change colors and shapes based on what the kids said. Remember, anytime you need to pause the video, feel free to do that if you need to get caught up, okay? Notice here I said she started to change colors and shapes based on what the kids said. I didn't give too many specifics because remember, we don't want to put all the unimportant details. So I didn't talk about how they were saying the Pledge of Allegiance and she started turning stars and stripes and then purple polka dots. I didn't give every single one of those instances when she changed. I just said she started to change colors and shapes based on what the kids said. I had to scrunch it down because I don't have enough room or time to put every single little detail because I would just be rewriting the book again. A summary is when you take it and you condense it and you make it smaller. So I have to make sure that I leave out those unimportant details. Next, the principal called her parents and said she was not allowed to go to school anymore. Then I'm using my transition words. Oops. Then they called several doctors in to take a look at Camilla. Now, it listed all the doctors' names, but I did not list those because remember, we're condensing the story. They gave her pills to take, but they just turned her into a giant pill. As more experts came, Camilla kept changing shapes and getting worse. Now there are lots of details on this part about the newscasters and how she started to turn into a virus and a fungus, and again, I don't need to put all that because I'm scrunching it down, and I've already got a lot, so I'm leaving out lots of details, but my summary is already long. So that's why we leave out those unimportant details. So she kept changing shapes and getting worse. After that, an environmental specialist came and accidentally turned her into her bedroom. Okay, I'm going to turn the page, so if you need to pause the video right here, you can. We're almost done with our summary, guys. So after that, an environmental specialist came and accidentally turned her into her bedroom. Finally, they called a little old lady to help. She gave Camilla some lima beans and she was cured. In the end, Camilla was no longer afraid of what others thought and ate all the lima beans she wanted. And that is the end of our summary. So let's go back and check. Did I give the character? Yes. Did I give the setting? Yes. Did I tell what the problem was? Yes. Did I give the events of the story? Yes, I did. Did I use transition words in the beginning? Yes. Next? Yes. Then? Yes. After that? Yes. In the end? Yes. I even used some extra transition words because it was pretty long, so I had to come up with some others, like on the first day, that afternoon, finally. I threw in some more transition words because I needed some more because my summary was long. So that is how you write a summary. The most important thing is that it's the story put into your own words and it is shortened with just the important details. Okay? Please let any of your teachers know if you guys have any questions, and we will see you tomorrow with our next ELA video. Bye, guys.